having tea.
Welcome back to CraftTea, episode 8.
You're good.
Yes, I'm good.
You're good at counting.
We're done. Good with numbers.
It's a really nice day today, but it's gonna rain.
It's not going to rain. It's been raining. It's
Oh, I
not
mean, it is
steady
raining.
at all. It's actually horrible outside right now. It's been pouring since we walked out the door.
But it's nice
The
weather.
traffic was bad because of it. The
But it's
skies
not
are
cold.
very gray and dark right now.
Which is
I'm not
opposite
sure
of what
your
I like.
definition of great day.
Not cold.
Because yesterday was sunny and beautiful. The day before that was sunny and beautiful. Today's actually the first really bad day this week.
It's not cold. That's all I care about is that it's not frigid.
No,
Bring
I
on
mean,
the
our
rain.
heat works now too in the warehouse, so that is probably another good.
That's right. We had a gas scare last Friday.
Yeah.
No one worked.
there
day
you
off.
go. Now we have something to talk about. We couldn't think of anything to talk about. Now we have something.
We walked into work, and as soon as we're going to unlock it because we're getting all our stuff ready inside the little, what is that called? A vestibule? I hate that word.
Vestibule?
Vestibule? Don't
Yeah, I
like
guess
it.
so.
Don't like that word.
There's like a little foyer kind of.
Not a fan of the word, but that's where we were standing.
Before you get into the lobby.
It always
So-
smells gas, and they say it wasn't gas.
Yeah, when I was going to unlock, there's like a really strong smell, and then so we always have Alex here over every day, and then we go over walking in. You're like trailing right behind me. I'm about to unlock the door, and I like really smelled it. And I looked at you, and you were like, "Yep, confirmation, definitely smell." I'm like, "You and the baby in the car." We're gonna figure this out. So yeah, we just told everybody, don't go in the building, let's figure this out. Called the property manager, told him what's going on, called the necessary peoples, and
Which was the fire department, ironically. Well, we called the
the
electric
gas
company.
company. I actually called the gas company, and I didn't even call the right gas company first. I called
Our
AC
home one.
Industry, yeah, which is close to here, but then they looked up the address, and they're like, "You want South Jersey Gas? Here's their phone number." Called them, told them. Everyone's very nice with this whole process. You know, you're like anxious about it. And
I was home chilling.
yeah, they sent everybody out, and I came out here and met the fire department and the gas people, and they're out there with their sniffers, walking around the building. And they said it was like so strange to me when the one guy was like, "Yeah, like I'm not smelling anything, and I like it's not picking up anything. I'm not smelling anything." And I like real quick just walked back in just to verify because I've been gone for like an hour and a half. I'm like, maybe it like aired out, but I can't see that. I walk in and it like punches me in the face. Like the smell is so strong, and I'm like, "Boy, this guy's nuts." Like maybe his reader's not saying nothing, but nose is saying something. And the other guy goes to go and he's like, "I'm not sure if I'll smell anything because I've been congested all week." And he goes to walk in. He didn't even have to go through the whole door. He was like, "Yup, there's the smell." And I'm like, "What the?" So everyone had like a different experience with the smell. That's what was like kind of weird. Everyone was in agreement that there was something other than that one guy. He was just weird.
Well, you know.
But the fire guys' monitors read more than like combustibles, so they weren't getting anything though. It does a wider range, but it's not as like stringent of a test. Then when the gas guy came, his does only the combustibles, his sniffer, so it's stronger on sniffing those out.
I
And
like that we're calling it a sniffer.
yeah, I mean that's what they're called.
Officially?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Like
Hell
I
yeah.
had to use them when I was working, still doing line work, and had to do underground. If you're in manholes or anything, the air has to be monitored in any enclosed space.
Super sniffers.
So you have to have a sniffer. Yes. So anyway, the gas guy, he's on the roof. They're checking all the things. The initial fire guy was like, "Hey, I think that gas was leaking through the HVAC system in some way Our readers aren't picking it up because it's not concentrated enough because the building is so big. So, and it's all just gonna like rise and stuff too. They're like, it's nothing that should like explode. It's not like enough like that, but there's definitely something that's an issue. So, ooh, yeah.
Coffee
Yeah.
delivery.
Appreciate you.
We gotta get you some
Thank
kind of
you.
apron or a hat.
Everyone can listen to my
Sombrero.
My shaken espresso that needs extra shaken. Anyway, you're welcome for the little ice shake sound there. The guy, he's like, it's not gonna explode or anything. It's definitely gonna be safe. The gas guy's like, it's absolutely not gas, and his nose is like a hound for gas. Like, that's what I would think. He's like, but I definitely smell something. Nobody could come up with exactly what it was. Either way, I was like, I just don't want to be the boy that cried wolf. Like, I'm feeling like, did I do anything wrong? If they don't find gas, because everybody didn't get to work that day, and we didn't get to work that day, so we lost the whole day of productivity. That was that was the last day of ship and sale orders. I actually saw emails after we posted that we were off. I saw some people commenting and saying like, this looks fishy that they're saying that there's a gas leak at the warehouse. Like, yeah. Oh, I swear to God that there was a post in our group, right? Chris,
Yes,
you seen it, right?
Somebody complained it was in the group
And I mean, like, and when I saw that, actually,
we've been so transparent with everybody.
Yeah, everybody can take it as you want to take it. But when Batty showed me that screenshot, I said just ban her. Like,
no.
Yeah, I did say that, and I don't care. I'll say that out loud because
I don't
it's
know if
ridiculous.
Get banned.
No, and Sarah can disagree with me, and other people can agree with me.
I'm upset
and the
about
opposite side of
that.
the cams, but like we were utterly transparent of what happened. We were pissed that it happened. Like, we all wanted fucking work and shit. And then they're just like, well, they probably just made it up about this gas leak. Or like, there's literally videos of the fire department and the gas department. Like, you think because I didn't feel like packing your order that I called the gas company to come out and shut my fucking warehouse down?
This is the kind of
this
stuff
world
that
does not revolve
happen.
around you, okay?
This is the kind of stuff that does happen to companies like ours and does not happen to companies like Walmart and Target. Gaslight. Haha, ironic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's kind of unfair because not only are we super small businesses and stuff, and this happens across the board because I see it to all my friends, competitors, everyone. But come on now, that shit hurts our feelings. Like, we literally told everyone 14 business days and it took us 10.
Yep.
Well, stupid 11 with the gas leak, but it would have been 10.
Yep. And
worked our butts
We
off.
are like, not just us, like small businesses are held to an Amazon standard now, and it like sucks.
And worse, because they'll say stuff about you publicly on Facebook, and then everyone else sees that, and not everyone will understand the context or know that they're embellishing, or that they're just straight making something up. Sure. They'll just read that and be like, oh, the glitter guy's a bunch of liars.
Oh, they don't ship orders out fast. It's like, well, I had my entire website at 30% off for 48 hours, so yes, I do not.
I'm a bad liar, by the way. I'm a bad one.
Ship out well when there's a high spike like that. Like, I can't maintain normal shipping times. I'm not going to say not well. We ship actually excellently during that time. But like, to be expected to maintain our normal 48-hour processing time when you do a major sale like that and you tell people about it, it's like, come on, man.
And I don't want to put all the fault.
It makes your employees feel like shit too.
I don't want to put all the fault on these commenters that say those nasty things and stuff like that. But also, there are companies out there that are similar to ours, not only glitter, and I don't know if you know where I'm alluding to bring up,
that do some like shitty shit?
Yeah, like that monkey feet thing. Apparently that's more of a rabbit hole than we knew.
Wait, what's that?
The monkey feet, the girl from Jersey that did the shoe company.
Oh, yeah, you were saying that. Yeah.
I fell down a whole rabbit hole yesterday or the day before. I saw
other companies do make it hard.
So this company, I'm in a bunch of beware groups, and I saw the word monkey feet, and I had just recognized that from being on the news 2 days prior, because we're in New Jersey, and apparently the girl that started it is in New Jersey. So it gets even worse. So what was on the news was that this girl and her husband started a company. They're making these baby shoes called monkey feet, and they're selling them, and they're not shipping them. They didn't ship nothing for months, over about a year. They didn't ship anything out. And these people were just waiting. She bought like what, another house in Florida, the news said, and then
Yeah.
just kind of stopped talking to everyone. And apparently she didn't even have shoes on the way because she owed her supplier in China money, so they weren't shipping anything anyway. Don't you know, full circle, she stole that design. She stole that design, and I screenshotted the name, but it'd take me forever to filter through my hot mess of a screenshot, even though it's only been 2 days. But this other woman was selling the shoes, hand sewing them, and then this woman bought one, shipped it to China, had it remade, and put that first woman through so much emotional turmoil because her idea was being stolen, and she sold her sewing machine. She stopped making them. There's like tons of TikTok accounts devoted to this now. There's big TikTokers that have playlists, because I guess you can have playlists now and everything. Just devoted to this monkey feet drama of this woman and her husband who just took everyone's money and literally didn't ship anything. And I'm telling you right now, that's never been the glitter guy. If anything, I ship extra stuff. But there are those companies out there that, they make people on edge for not shipping their stuff. But holy moly, how are you going to take that much money and just think that that's not going to catch up with you? Like, I think she's in trouble with the state of New Jersey and the state of Florida now.
I mean, we were just watching. What were we just watching? The special?
We watched so many specials, I'm gonna need
No
more than
money.
that. I mean, they might ban TikTok. Although I really don't think that's actually gonna happen.
What was his name?
The dude's supposed to testify today, right? The owner. TikTok CEO to testify as social media giant faces ban over China ties. And I'm on both sides of this fence here because no, I don't want my data harvested. No, I don't want my data used inappropriately. No, I don't want it used against me, for me, whatever, just all that stuff that I don't know about. But on the other side, especially just this morning, there was someone speaking out about it, some Congress guy somewhere, that says tons of small businesses will die because they've done all of their everything on TikTok. Their entire social media platform is on TikTok. And we see that on Instagram all the time because I'll find somebody with like a little bit less than 1 million views and I'm like that, or followers. I'm like, that's a lot of followers. And then you see it in their description, TikTok at 3 million. I'm like, holy moly, 3 million. And I'm over here impressed by your like 3/4 mil. It's crazy. But a lot of people are super big on TikTok, and that's where they get all of their, advertisements. And then Kimberly Staples, I don't think you're friends with her on Facebook, but she posted the last week how much she has learned on TikTok. And I'm like with her on that because there's so many weird topics that I've learned a ton about, including monkey feet on TikTok. Just because I don't know, the difference between Instagram and TikTok to everyone. Like, Instagram has videos too. I guess it's just the way they feed them to you. Maybe it's because it's only videos and not pictures. It's the way that the algorithm is, or the news feed, whatever it is, it's working. Not for me, but for other people. I mean, for me in another way.
Every video that somebody learned something, though, there was another 3 kids that ate a Tide Pod or that
they're not eating Tide Pods anymore.
Stack of crates and like broke their neck, or you know what I mean? Like, there's always the flip side. That's all I'm saying. Is the
and the sad part
the dark
is
side too.
They're
it's
not
like how much was learned, but how much was like lost, like utterly lost.
That's social media in general. And it's unfortunate they're not eating Tide Pods anymore. They're just not eating.
It's just
there's hundreds and thousands of girls that develop eating disorders because they're seeing all of these tiny women on.
It's an age thing, man.
Same.
Kids are too impressionable for this stuff. Way too impressionable.
Did you guys hear? I hate to jump in. Did you hear that the CEO of TikTok doesn't let his kids use TikTok?
And the irony is full circle.
Now his kids are under 10. They're like 8 and 9.
They shouldn't be on it anyway.
Yeah. Well,
no one. I mean, that's in a personal opinion, and it's not a judgy one. It's just
there's a whole lot of TikToks that are dedicated to audiences that are of that age group. So like,
you
Yeah,
know?
I'm not saying that I'll be able to keep Alex off of these things at those ages, but what I'm saying is that I don't believe they should be on it. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, and
I'm
I'm
saying,
sure
like-
that I'll lose that battle, but
Like Miss Rachel being on TikTok, I know that she's taking a break right now or whatever, but Miss Rachel being on TikTok is to say that there are kids her age also on TikTok, or else why the hell would she be on TikTok? If she doesn't have an audience there, then why would she be there? And I'm telling you that Miss Rachel don't cater to anyone over the age of like 6. So we're talking 6 and under TikTok users is what that account is made for. And she's not the only one. Like, that's just the only one that I know of off the top of my head.
TikTok's data collection practices have been frequently cited as a threat to Americans' privacy. The app not only collects the imagery and objects contained in the short form videos made by users, but also biometric identifiers such as face prints and voice prints activities on other websites or apps, plus the content of messages when they're sent, received, written, and by whom. Taken together, the data helps TikTok target videos, ads, and political messages based on users' habits and interests. That sounds like Facebook.
It is.
I got news for you guys. That sounds a lot like Facebook.
Well, that's also another part of the argument is you probably got to go back and look at the funding of who's fighting TikTok the most. Probably the competitors.
I'd believe it.
YouTube ain't happy. Facebook ain't happy.
Oh, YouTube's probably pissed. I never even thought about that.
But I said it this morning when we saw
YouTube's
this.
probably real pissed.
We saw this morning, and then they said, like, you know, all the small businesses are fighting about this and stuff. For my perspective, it's another thing for small businesses like ours to have to balance. So if TikTok was taken out of the equation, then all of the traffic has to go back to its roots. YouTube numbers will go back up. Instagram numbers will go back up. Facebook Reel numbers will go back up. I mean, those things didn't exist. They exist because of TikTok. But you get rid of TikTok, people are going to run to the things that were meant to replace it in the first place, you know? So
ByteDance is reportedly under investigation by the Justice Department and FBI for using the app to
surveil
that
US
word, I saw it
journalists.
coming up and I'm like, I know I'm gonna mess that word up. Surveil U.S. journalists as at least 2 China-based employees at the company tried to use the data to determine which of their colleagues was leaking information to the press. The incident was first reported by Forbes. I don't even know what ByteDance is. There's too much. Oh wait, ByteDance is the company that owns TikTok or no?
I think so.
I always forget they're owned by another company like Facebook and Meta.
Well,
Makes
the
a lot
whole
of
Facebook
sense.
Meta thing only just happened, and that's like, I'm sure for the past decade that someone would, not someone, the tax people were saying,
I was
hey,
just gonna say that.
you need to add a level of separation here, my man. Facebook is a little too big, so it
we
needs
can't
to
hide
be,
those taxes that you're not paying as
we
well.
need to start separating the monies a little bit.
I need someone to start hiding my taxes. But
Oh my
anyway,
God.
this TikTok thing is going pretty nuts right now. Everyone's super divided. Everyone's super nervous. Either way, whether it gets banned or not, which I really do not see a world where they can actually ban it. But the threats, I mean, it's enough to get people in the upper. I mean, you see it all over the social media right now. It's definitely giving people something to talk about too, but we're just making people more angry again. I feel like what I read was no different than what Facebook's doing, and it was even worse during the elections, which is a conversation I will not enter into, but yeesh. We'll see what happens. I mean, he's supposed to be testifying at some point today about what he's doing with all the data.
I mean, the facts are never going to come out of what they're doing
Do
with the
facts
data.
ever come out? I mean, fact at this point is literally just an interpretation of
No, they only
opinion
come
of
out-
who's
If you go
saying
back
it.
and see like the largest scandals and stuff,
trying
the
to
facts
find a
usually only come out when the person committing them just had enough. And they're just like, you know what? I'm coming clean. Because they usually never pin them. You know what I mean? And I figured
like a
out what the
cookie.
hell we were watching. It was Bernie Madoff, by the way.
Ho ho, that was a good one.
We were talking about monies and
That one blew my
scandals, so
mind.
The whole Bernie Madoff thing was wild. But yeah, but even that, that's handed on a silver platter. Hey man, here's what this person's doing wrong, and by choice, it's easier to just look the other way. You know, that's.
If you guys are not on Netflix, get on Netflix. We've gone through a whole. I've been trying to drag Jason down this rabbit hole of documentaries for some time, and he'll entertain me a little bit here and there, but within the past 2 weeks, he's entertained me immensely. I've gotten him to do documentary after documentary after documentary, and he's picked out some of them too. So then we were going to switch from documentaries to our regular program shows, which is The Mandalorian, Among Us, and we had just finished up You.
Not Among Us.
I keep doing that. I do that in my head all the time.
It's like the game.
The game, The Last of Us. And there was something else. But I was like, you're going to want to see this documentary.
Shadow and Bone right now.
Shadow and Bone. And I put on the Bernie Madoff documentary, and I can't believe that I remember seeing some headlines in the news about this, but I wish that I dove in when that was really happening. People were just giving this man all their money, and the state and the government and everyone that was supposed to protect us was just like, he's fucking cool, it's fine, I vouch for him. Why, sir, why? Because he wears a suit and a tie? Like, what were you basing it on? It's still like the guy in the UK, the freaking bank guy, trusted him so much you don't even know this man. And not only did he trust him with all the money that he had all of his bank clients putting in all their money. Remember the dude that was like, if you're right, I'm a dead man?
I remember.
All of his friends and his family were just like, well, I have only 2 million. Will you take 2 million? And he's like, yeah, I'll take 2 million. And then 2 months later, he'd be calling these people. He'd be like, hey, listen, like, what if you invested another $1 million? And people were just like, okay. Are we not asking questions about where the hell our money's going? This blew my mind. Also, it mostly blew my mind because he got away with it for how many decades? And then the SEC and all these other, like I said, government entities that's supposed to like protect us were just like.
And he's the only one that took the fall in the end. That's the part that sums up the whole thing.
That kind of pissed me off too, that he's the only one that took the fall.
Of the entire $60 billion scandal, and it was actually $19 billion in real money. He, of one person, is the only one that did any time and took any fall and did anything.
And there was like he was 5 in his people 70s.
There was like 5 people on the 17th floor that did time that was like absolutely inadequate to the amount of money and injustice they did to all these people in their retirements and stuff. But yeah, really crazy. There's always just the one scapegoat, and that's what they even, that's why I like about Netflix. They touch on this stuff. They remind you of all the people that were absolutely at fault in the story. Then you're just like, huh, what happened to them? Oh, nothing?
I actually thought he did less years because, remember, he didn't go to prison until he was in his 70s. He did 12 years before he died of kidney failure.
His whole family just died. His wife is still alive. But both of his kids ended up dying tragic deaths like crazy.
Horrible.
The whole family just ended up having just a cancer run
through. The kids
basically.
Apparently had no idea. No one had any idea except if you were in on this. Remember in the middle of it, the one guy was like, I think it's a Ponzi scam. And the dude that he was talking to was like, you can't say Ponzi. It was a fucking Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, because it was too mind-blowing to comprehend if that was actually real. They're like, that could be a thing, but like if it's a thing, the magnitude would have to be so exponential. And they were just like, I don't want to wrap my head around that. And that's the problem.
And then they're like, it's not
so much.
It's not a thing because of the people involved.
People's lack of willingness to wrap their heads around the magnitude of real fucking problems.
Mind blown. Get on Netflix, guys. There's lots to watch on there. And that one's an old one.
I want to personally thank Sara for introducing us all to Netflix. Actually, I want to shout out to Sara. Without her guidance,
got myself all worked
and
up.
Her influence, none of us would have ever heard of.
Are you making fun of me now?
Netflix. You just like got so excited about like, if you guys never heard of Netflix, the people need to know.
I never said if you never heard.
It's like we're hiding Netflix under a rock.
If you guys want, but
if you were like shouting out Peacock, then
I
would get it more. Like like, hey, if you guys never heard of Peacock or the Tubi.
I said if you guys are not on Netflix.
All right.
Which it might blow your mind too, but there's a whole group of people that don't just sit around and watch TV. Tons of them. They're probably outside right now frolicking somewhere. I have no idea.
Those people hopefully better get with the screen watching time because I need them watching my podcast.
Might be a podcast of one. You keep it up.
Listen.
What? I got excited. I'm so sorry. You're right. I thought you were, like, congratulating me on bringing you in on something. I'm like, he's going to say documentaries. He's going to say learning all this shit.
No, we've been watching documentaries. I'm literally a pescatarian because of a Netflix documentary.
You're a Netflix documentary?
I might be one day. Probably the victim side of a murder documentary. I am sure of it.
You
If
keep
you
it
guys
up?
are ever wondering what flesh-like glitter looks like, Sarah's probably going to come out with it when we get our machine fired up.
We are looking for that kind of color.
Mm-hmm. Just smush me right up in it.
People
That'd
won't,
be something like
be
a...
surprised because you're
No,
mean to me.
let's do like a craft-based horror movie. We can do like an indie one, right,
It's called
Chris?
the
We
glitter.
can manage
It's
that.
called the glitter
I feel
guy.
like we got the fucking assets. Like we can make so much stuff, and I feel like my favorite horror movies are definitely the silly gore kill ones, you know? You know, they do the wood chipper and stuff, but nobody has been sent through a glitter shredder.
Big D's gonna send somebody to.
We could make Big
You
D murder. It's
couldn't.
it's like the whole thing anyway, is taking these like inanimate like mascots or animals and shit and making them murderers. Like that's the whole thing, right? The Winnie the Pooh movie.
There you go.
I'll just reach out to Immortal Masks. That's who did the Winnie the Pooh mask anyway. And I'll commission them to make a Big D mask, but like a creepy one. Probably be expensive as shit.
With real fur and everything. Or, yeah, feathers.
Yeah.
Yeah, not fur.
There's tons of feathers outside.
More like
True.
tuft. I feel like the word for that is like tuft.
The geese have started chasing me out of my spray paint corner. So our glitter guy warehouse is on a big field, and there is tons of geese every year that just come.
There's like a pond behind the warehouse, apparently. We've never walked behind the warehouse, but we've been told by the manager guy that that's why they dwell here.
It's across the street, the pond.
No, he said there's one behind us, like back here.
So the geese come, and it's the same geese, and I guess they bring their friends or whatever. It's the same geese. We know that because the first year we moved in, one of the little geese hurt its foot, and our employees ran out there, scooped him up, and put him in the pond, and then we've seen him again. So they lay their eggs. They do their nesting right now, this spring. And my side door over there is where I do all the spray painting. So I go out, do my thing, and I come back in. I don't bother anybody. But yesterday I saw it starting and I was waiting for it. And I'm just doing my thing, and the geese are far away looking at me. And I'm like, I'm out here too long. They're going to get upset. And here he comes out of nowhere, the male goose. And came up real close to me. And he just starts coming up. And he's like, what are you doing over there? I see you. And he went you back in there. And I was like, I'll spray paint a goose so fast. Stay over there. I do not have enough time to run to that door. I need you to stay your space. He stayed his space, but I mean, I have to find the video, but I have had gooses. Some geese come, well, it was one goose, come all the way up to the door, and I'm just sitting there, like, out the door, like, taking a little video of them, because, you know, content is everything. It's worth getting a goose snap. But they're mean.
Well, they're just
Long story
protective.
short.
It's, what's it called? Mating season right now, and they lay all their nests right along the building because it's just like kind of safe.
There's all the
for them.
bushes.
Yep. And they usually have them all set up around there, and then we get to see all the little geeslings get hatched. And then, like you said, one of them had the broken ankle. The girls had to help him over to curb.
Alex is obsessed.
He's a big man goose now, though. He's all grown up.
Big man
That
goose.
was 2 years ago, and you go out there now, and he's out there. His leg all wonky, but he makes it happen.
Wonky goose. Alex is
girl.
obsessed with the gooses, and even more so,
She wants
she's
to
obsessed
hug
with the
them.
goose poop.
She wants to hug the geese.
She doesn't know what it is. She just sees a lot of
and
it.
The geese don't want to be hugged.
No, there's no gooses out there that want to get hugged. No geese. No geese hugs for her. I hope. Oh, God.
All right,
My
what do
poor
you got
little
for
girl.
me here, Chris.
Huh?
What do you got here?
Just crafting stuff. There's actually some interesting stuff going on. So, have you guys ever thought about the biggest crafting cities in the country?
No, but I'm not surprised to see actually we
Yeah.
have, because we've looked up in our database, and Texas holds
Texas makes
the
sense.
majority of our customers, second to Florida.
Really?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so like it makes sense because our general demographic
I'm glad you looked this
is
up.
stay-at-home moms. That is generally who makes tumblers or who does a lot of crafting. They're people that are either looking for an escape or people that are looking for supplemental income, and that is generally what the crafting community is comprised of. And a lot of those people that fit that bill are stay-at-home moms. So in Texas, I know even like in like general construction and stuff, a lot of people travel, especially from like down south. So like in line work and stuff, tons of linemen from down south would always be working up in the Northeast around us because the wages are higher up here.
Mm-hmm. You've
So
always
they
told me
leave
that.
the wives at home literally for like weeks, months at a time. It's just like, I ain't got nothing else to do. So they're home buying glitter, buying crafting materials,
Hopefully buying
going
from
to
the glitter guy.
doing DIY stuff. Like it all makes sense. All of my experience points in this direction that basically the southern states would have higher crafting influence.
So with that, you don't have to spoil anything, plans or declare anything, but so do you think that potentially one year the Great American Craft Expo might be in Texas?
It's
10 years?
So it's a really good. We've already talked about traveling a lot with the expo, and I don't know if it was next year we were trying or the year after. I think it might have been the year after next, but regardless, Texas might not be a state that I go to, or it might be a state I go to. I don't know. I just don't want to tread on TumblerCon's territory, and they're in Texas, so they already have a big craft convention that's basically like a mirror of us. But Texas, if you don't know, which you probably do, is a humongous state. Maybe we'll go like south or something. They're north-ish. I don't know how you tell.
Plano,
Yeah, that's like somewhere in there.
somewhere in Texas.
Off the side of Dallas.
Sure.
But they already have TumblerCon, and I don't know if states have started doubling up on these conventions yet. I think everyone's still kind of spreading them out, but traveling is definitely something that I don't know if we're all on board for it, but it's something we've been talking about, and I'm on board for
Yeah, I
it.
want to look. It's
go to
something that
Florida.
we considered as possibly doing regional conventions. It's a lot, So
It's a lot to plan it, period.
a lot of planning it, and then just even getting manpower to do conventions that are close by. Then you have to coordinate manpower in locations that you're not even familiar with.
Yeah,
You
because
have to
I mean,
get
we
all the
talk about
material
going to
out
Atlantic City for
there.
videos. Can you imagine having to go to?
Yeah, that's a whole thing. Like, hey, we have to do a production run of the marketing and make sure that we can get all the content videos.
But it can be
stuff
done.
shot. Oh yeah, absolutely. Anything can be done with enough planning and time and manpower and money.
I think Florida.
Basically everything.
I think Florida's going to be our
Sure.
first one, and I'm pretty sure that some conventions, now that I think about it, have doubled up in Florida. But Florida is like a different kind of state. I feel like a lot more people are super willing to travel to Florida. It's easy for a lot of people to travel to Florida. And plus there's Disney. I think
And
one of the conventions went to
Miami.
Disney. Actually, they did Disney Springs, and I was super jealous. I want to go so bad.
You go to Disney and I'll go to Miami.
Done. All I needed to know was that I can go to Disney without you if you
Yeah.
didn't want to go, because
Yeah,
I'm not going to
you-
take Alex
you
for
and
her
the
first time
baby-
without you.
You and the baby go.
But if you don't
Disney
want
it
to
up.
go,
I will just lay on a boat in Miami. That's what I want to do.
and sail far away. You don't even have to come back.
Lucky.
We'll just put you on a raft. Why don't you just lay on a little raft and just float wherever you go?
Castaway.
Yeah, cast it all away.
That's all right.
I'll be in Disney. I'm going to call Jen, and me and her will go out. Call Bridget. I'll call someone for you. Probably 911.
My favorite is when you talk about people that no one would ever know who you're talking about on our show.
I think that's fine. You're just in the mood to call me out today. I think it's
I
fine.
call you out every day.
Some worse than others. Don't you blink at me, sir.
All right.
I did call the doctors about Alex's blinking.
Yeah, Alex
They
been
have to call me
blinking.
back.
She's got
She
nothing to do with
blinks,
crafts, but she's
guys.
been
Who
blinking.
knew? She blinks hard though. It's weird. She's like,
What else? What is it? Bomb unit crafts beeping eggs for inclusive Easter egg hunt.
help.
It's for
The Jackson Police Department, in partnership with the City of Jackson,
Is this
the
in New
Star
Jersey?
Center.
Like Jackson, New Jersey?
Easter Explosion Hunt. No, Tennessee.
Ah,
A free fun event for people who are
blind
What?
or visually impaired. Wait.
beeping eggs built by the Jackson Police Department's bomb unit. Will give individuals
All right,
the
no, so I
opportunity
get
to.
it. Okay.
Oh, I'm
So-
thinking they're going to explode.
No, yeah, I didn't think they were going to explode, but like
This is so much better.
they did not do very well with like the commingling of the branding. Like what
Or
they're trying to
did
do
they?
is
because
say
I would read that over
no,
anything else.
They're trying to say that it's the bomb unit.
Yes, they are, because he's dressed like he's gonna do a bomb unit. Do a bomb unit.
The bomb unit sponsored an egg hunt, and then they modified some eggs for people that are blind or visually impaired. But they're like, all the wording and stuff, and the picture even with the guy with the snips. Like, who's snipping? Why's he got wire snips? Why, of all the pictures, is he looking for the red wire to cut? They're like, oh, listen.
Yeah, but can we just like throw up that address for everyone to see? Because how much do you have to pay to get 4 Fun Place?
Now,
Anywhere on Fun
this
Place.
is a good one
Anywhere
for-
on that street. How do you get that? How do you get that kind of?
That's a good one for the But Did You Die shirts.
You're not allowed to say that.
Oh, I can say it. I just can't like try to sell it. That's a whole nother thing that
Jason's fallen down that rabbit hole. I put him in the trademark groups, you guys. So he's all up in there and he'll come to me with the stuff. And I'm like, he's like, did you see this? I'm like, they don't come up on my feed anymore because it makes me angry.
yep.
Trademark
trademark
problems.
wars over
Boy mom.
silly phrases and whatnot.
All you gotta say is boy mom and most people know what you're talking about. They're like, let's talk about trademarks. Let's get angry. And I'm with them. I'm right in there. Documentary coming to you on Netflix. If you guys haven't heard about it.
About Netflix.
You'd be mad as shit when Netflix calls me up and they're like, yo, I really like them toss outs
we
you be
just
doing
saw
for me.
a
Can I
surge in
give you
numbers."
$250,000
like-
to just say it again? And I'll be like, yeah, as long as you make that check out to Sarah Lively and say that Jason Lively can't have any.
They're like, listen, our numbers have been hurting lately, but all of a sudden there was a resurgence, and we were trying to just find the root cause of it, and here we go.
Found
The
her.
people, they were actually filling in the blank.
I've been
They're like,
right here
how'd
the
you
whole
hear about
time."
Netflix? And they were like, Sarah Lively from the CraftTea podcast.
Who knew? It only gets like 100 views, but
Who knew?
I blew it up. You're just mad. You're mad and you're jealous, and I
stay
can sit.
mad.
I could sniff it from
I
here.
stay mad and jealous.
Yeah, my sniffers are going off.
Did you get me any twisted teas?
I thought we were reading Twisted Tea this whole time.
None
I
of
thought
this
Chris
is,
was helping us out here.
none of this is twisted at all. These are all just actually craft topics that aren't
bomb
twisted.
squad thing is a little.
That is a little weird.
Because it's
Shocked. That just seems like a good word.
like that. I was blown away.
Yeah.
You know what I wanted to talk about is
All that stuff's in the trash
this
now. We got no
baseball bat
bathroom.
thing that you were talking about.
What?
This baseball bat thing in the iPhones that we were talking about right before we started
Oh.
recording, because I am dying to go get the new Android phone, but I'm quite lazy. I'm not that lazy, but I just don't feel like going to the store. I definitely don't feel like calling
It's not a lazy
company
thing. You don't like
and going
being...
through all the motions and being like, hey, I just want to order a cell phone that I used to be able to order online, but now you took the feature off and now I can't do it on my own account. Why do you even have an online account to log into? Now I have to go in person and call and have it mailed.
It's not a lazy thing. You don't like being minorly inconvenienced.
Or majorly inconvenienced. I don't like
I
being
mean,
inconvenienced, period, across the
Correct.
board.
So, if it's like, hey, I'd love to get the phone and I have the energy to get it. If I know for sure that there's no line, no wait, no nothing, I can walk in and it's less than 30 seconds in and out, I'll do it. That's Sarah's mentality.
That is
But
actually to
if
a T
I walk in
my
that store
mentality.
and there is one person in line,
I'll wait.
no, I will go home
Oh.
and complain to Jason and say,
No.
there is no way to get a phone today, so we should just like order it online anyway.
That's never happened like
and then
that.
I'd be like, what? No, I mean, not
So
specifically. That's just, I'm kind of running down.
One, I don't go get phones without you. I make you come with me. There's never been a scenario where I've come home and was like, hey, I was just at the phone store by myself.
I know the last time we literally brought the baby while she was still
Go
an
anywhere by
actual
myself.
baby, and I had to keep myself from brown bagging because I can't take a crying baby in a space, especially if it's mine. So Alex started crying because she, little baby, that's what she do. So I was outside just back and forth pacing with her with the stroller.
Ironically, we were there for you.
I know. We were there actually for your watch. And
I thought
then
we were there
we
for
also
yours.
got me a Z Fold while I was there. I was like, while we're here, let's just get me a Z Fold.
So that's, yeah, don't put that on me.
No, I mean, we went there originally for you. I just made the trip worth it for me.
I thought my fulfillment was worth it for you.
Oh. Mistaken.
We're going to have a whole episode of all the things that I do for
Anyway,
you.
baseball bats. So Chris wants an iPhone. Sarah wants an Android phone. Everybody likes the fancy stuff, and Sarah had no idea that people also wait in these lines just to troll people, walk out of the store with a golf club, a bat, whatever have you, and smash it in front of everyone's waiting faces.
They wait in line for that. There's so many other things that I have to do with my time than wait in a line for nothing.
And they get enough views that it don't fucking matter. Smash away.
They're expensive. Even the insurance on them. Like, I'm sure you can get an insurance on it and you know, get your new phone. But even that's like...
Insurance don't cover video recordings of golf clubs to the fucking face of it. You actually have proof that you fucked it up. There's no way insurance gonna cover that.
Yeah, but if you drop your phone, no matter what you do with your phone, there's no golf club exclusion in a... I'm gonna look.
Here we go. This one has 1.6 million views. Well, they took like the iPhones and then put like a shaft on them and used them
Well,
to
message
drive
that over
golf
to Chris
balls.
real quick.
You just put in iPhone golf club and it's literally the first one.
This one right here.
That one, yep.
Oh, I get it. I like his little booty
Oh,
stance.
it came off.
Did it?
Yeah, I seen it go flying forward.
Well, it probably wasn't
Kapow.
epoxy.
I don't sell anything expensive enough to do fancy videos of us destroying it.
And how many views? How many views did this gentleman get on this?
1.6. He got 1.6 million views on that
1.8.
video.
Or is that so? That is.
But he already has tons of subscribers
He does.
because, like you said, he's a tech channel.
Yeah, he's a tech channel.
I'm gonna start hitting glitter with some.
Yeah, he's got
I said before that we got tons of options with the glitter stuff, but it's just like you got to do it in a controlled environment because we don't want to do it outside.
You should have like a mess room, like just one that totally gets jacked up.
You haven't seen our warehouse. JK. Glitter's not too bad to clean up though. I mean, the showroom, we could do some things in the showroom, and there's no windows to
I think
break.
it's just like being able to hang a tarp or something. You know what I mean? Like that becomes a backdrop to hold or catch whatever. Even if it's in the craft room is a big room, especially the way we're kind of setting it up where it's like still very open.
We will not be throwing anything inside the craft room. You just put the Glowforge in there, the 3D
This
printer,
is
the
true.
UV printer.
This is true.
the-
I did just put the tech corner in.
all of my
finally.
turners. You ain't throwing nothing in there.
The warehouse is finally coming together a lot more. You guys probably see more and more is updated with this different desk. I want to skin this with leather for Chris so that I don't have to, or so he doesn't have to deal with all the ambient noise over the microphones. But I already glued them down.
But he told you before you even constructed this what we had to do.
No, the leather.
Soft top. Top.
The leather thing was a discussion after I had glued them, and I thought I was going to have enough lip to still staple it, but I only have lip on like the front edge, so we'll see. I can figure something out.
Yeah, they're not really going to see this side too much. You could staple it to the side maybe. But, you know, there's only one person in this room or in the world that we can blame for this because Chris gave you a great heads up. Just throwing that out there. He was like, the one thing that you should do before you build that table is make sure you do the thing.
Ways too, like actually the way the mics are sunken into the table. If you even have rubber in between that, it'll deaden the connect because the sound only travels through the connection.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool too. I like that they're sunk in. I think that is really nice.
Yeah, that was Chris's suggestion. It's not like a really good way to bite it.
Took your
underneath.
suggestion.
It doesn't go through, so I I just like wrap tape to like back it up for temporary. But yeah, it was just so that we could at least still shoot with the desk. And obviously it's a lot shorter to fit the space a little bit better, but we were hoping that then if and when we have guests in the building, you and I can just like, you know, scoot to our corner some and we can accommodate for up to 2 more guests in our spot. And the room honestly can hold way more too. Like you got the whole couch area, you got the whole
That's where I
green
pictured our
screen
guests
area.
sitting at first, because if you watch other podcasts, you'll see that they're just like hanging out, and then there's just like a random couch or a random chair, and they're just hanging out on the couch and chair, and I'm like, that does look pretty damn comfy.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna give the option really up to them wherever they want to sit. I don't give a shit. Or you can just tell them that they have to sit where you want them to sit. I don't care.
Me specifically.
Yes. You specifically, you're the boss.
You're in a mood today. I'm gonna get you lunch. You're gonna have lunch
I am
today.
pretty hungry.
I could tell.
All right.
We're gonna go get Jason some more coffee, something to eat, and then we won't be back. We'll be back next week.
We'll never be back.
Last episode.
All right. Let's get back to work.
But we're making tea, and when making tea, always bring the pot to the kettle and never bring the kettle to the pot.
Now, pour the tea.